Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Robbie Gwen Kenobi, and right here, I have yet another set of questions. So this means this is yet another fan response. This time it's going to be the Pro Wrestling ABC tag. This is yet another creative challenge created by my good friend Breatha35. So shout out to you, Breatha. Keep up the hard work with these challenges, dude. Like I said, you're quite a creative YouTube user. You always have unique ways of presenting these challenges. So I have the questions here. What's unique about this challenge is that it's basically, there's 26 letters in the alphabet. So each of these questions starts off with one of the 26 letters in the alphabet, and I just answer it like if it's 21 questions or whatnot. So let's get right down to it. A wrestler you would like to meet in real life. There are so many wrestlers I would like to meet in real life, but the one that I'd really like to meet, undoubtedly, well, I think Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, and Stone Cold Steve Austin are like my top 3 guys I'd really like to meet. But if I had to pick one, I'd most likely go with Shawn Michaels because of the impact his career's had on my life, because he was the first guy that I really got into when I started watching wrestling, him and Undertaker. But it'd definitely be Shawn Michaels. Like I said, I'd love to meet Taker. I'd love to meet Austin, a bunch of other guys, past and present. But the one I'd really like to meet is my all-time favorite, Shawn Michaels. B, Botchamania moment you think of immediately when the term is brought up. Brock Lesnar botching the the shooting star press at WrestleMania 19 against Kurt Angle. That was just a real ugly botch, and Brock is lucky he did not kill himself, because Brock used to do this with the shooting star press before, and he had no problem, but he just did not have the right distance in terms of where he was trying to perform the move from. So luckily he did all those neck rolls as an amateur wrestler, because if not, that would have killed him. So yeah. But when I also think of Botchamania, I think of their special Heroes of Wrestling episode. That speaks for itself. I'll leave a link to it down below in the description box. But the Botchamania moment I think of is Brock botching the shooting star press. Cash in of a Money in the Bank briefcase you enjoyed. I really enjoyed Dolph Ziggler's, not only because he won the title, but because of the story that was told behind his match with him and Alberto Del Rio. Basically, Del Rio had a match that night against Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter. They did damage to Del Rio's ankle. Del Rio got the win. And then Ziggler came out to this incredible pop from the crowd, and Ziggler cashed in. And Del Rio was not adamant at all about defending the title, but he had to. And basically, Del Rio, put up a fight. I mean, Ziggler was on him. Ziggler was targeting that injured ankle, and then Del Rio looked like he was going to pull another rabbit out of his hat, because he managed to trap Dolph in the cross arm breaker. And I was really concerned that Dolph was going to tap and then Dolph was going to lose. He pretty much cashed in for nothing. But that's the storytelling of the match that I liked, because Del Rio had built this reputation up to this point of being able to overcome the odds and pull these rabbits out of his hat in situations where it seemed impossible, like his feud with the Big Show. But Dolph managed to tweak Del Rio's ankle a little bit, hit the zigzag, and score the 1-2-3, and win the World Heavyweight Championship in an incredible moment on Raw, like one of the best Money in the Bank cash-ins since Edge's in 2006, and definitely one of the best moments in WWE history and in the history of Monday Night Raw. Now, a personal favorite of mine is Seth Rollins cashing in at WrestleMania 31, and we all know the reasons why. I was there live, and nobody really expected no one was expecting Rollins to cash in. There was that debate about whether he would or not, that uncertainty. But that was just an incredible moment, the way he did it in the main event of WrestleMania, the first guy ever to cash in successfully in the main event of a WrestleMania. D, double team move you enjoy. The Dudley Boyz 3D. Because that move you can hit from pretty much anywhere in an arena, whether it's inside the ring, outside the ring, through a table. Hell, you can do it through the announcer's table. The 3D is just an awesome move, and it's a devastating double team move. That's my favorite to use in any of the wrestling games as well. The 3D is just it's a novelty as a double team. I know there have been other great double team moves in the past, but the 3D from the Dudley Boyz is undoubtedly my favorite. Ever wanted to be a pro wrestler? Yeah, when I was a kid, I believe I wanted to be a pro wrestler. I mean, I think every kid who was a wrestling fan at that back then wanted to be a professional wrestler because wrestlers were like superheroes back then. You could be all big and strong, but I don't aspire to be a professional wrestler now that I'm grown up, and you know that I'm older, mature. I'm still a proud, loyal wrestling fan, and I aspire to be a sports journalist. So I definitely aspire to be a professional wrestling journalist in the future. But I don't aspire to be a pro wrestler. But when I was a kid, I probably, yeah, did want to be. F, favorite female wrestling channel on YouTube? Definitely Miss WWE Fan 13. She's the only female pro wrestling fan channel that I watch on here. But her videos are just a lot of fun to watch. I love her unboxings. I also love the special intro and outro she has for her videos, which ties into the next question that I'll get into. But Kayla is just a fun girl to watch on YouTube. She's quite a strong lady for everything she's been through. So yeah, my favorite female wrestling YouTube channel, Miss WWE 13. Although recently I came across a channel called Nat Rocks, I think. And it was basically a girl named Natalie, I'm not sure. But she met oh, hey, I have a viewer. I'm sorry. I have a viewer right now, or I had a viewer. But anyway, I met, there was a girl named Nat Rocks on YouTube, and I saw her video experience meeting AJ and Lena. It was a real cool video. So if she's watching this, hey, shout out to you, Nat. I think I'll hope to see more videos from you in the future. But my favorite is definitely Miss WB Fan. G, gimmick or catchphrase you enjoy on a YouTube wrestling channel? Well, I definitely have to give a shout out to this guy because we just did a live stream together that was on his channel. Mr. Paul JB44. I love how he ends all his videos, where he basically goes, you know, you boys, you girls, and you guys and girls have a good day, night, or whatever time you watch this video. Please do have a good day. I love that gimmick. Well, it's not a gimmick; it's a catchphrase. Miss WWE Fan 13. I was just mentioning. I love how she has John Cena in the opening of her video, like Cena does an intro where he says, "Hey, this is John Cena, WWE superstar and 15-time champ, and you are watching Miss WWE Fan 13. Can't see us." I love that. And then she has a pre-recorded message at the end of every video where she basically goes, "All right, guys, that's it for this video. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up and comment down below." So I like those. And then Stevie Breach's catchphrase is you know, iconic. It's a timeless classic in my opinion. Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. So I love those gimmicks and catchphrases. I love the Lex Man doing the mashups on his channel. He makes awesome mashups. So many other gimmicks here on YouTube. I don't want to go into too much detail. You know, I could go on and on forever. But a few of my main favorites are Paul, Kayla, Breach, the Lex Man with his mashups, and the one that Bretha does at the end of his videos. I don't know what he says exactly, but I like how he ends his videos. H, heel you can't help but like Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman's a genius. You know, Paul Heyman's one of the best on the mic. Even in this era, he cuts lots of great promos, and you know, I mean, Paul Heyman is a legend in his own right. Paul Heyman is just awesome. He's a genius. I mean, even if you hated the fact that Brock Lesnar conquered the Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania, every time Paul Heyman said it, or every time Paul Heyman introduced himself, you went along with Paul Heyman. He said the same catchphrase. So, yeah, Paul Heyman, love him or hate him, Paul Heyman is the one heel that I can't help but like. I respect that man. I, indie wrestler or wrestlers you're a fan of? Chris Hero, Moose, AJ Styles and the Young Bucks, obviously, because I love Bullet Club. Pentagon Jr., if he's even considered an independent star. Oh man. As far as Bay Area independent wrestlers, I'm into a lot more of them, like Idris Jackson, Thunder Rosa, Nicole Savoy, Joey Ryan, Candice LeRae, Willie Mack, Brian Cage, Boyce LeGrand, Virgil Flynn III, Marcus Lewis, or Marquise Jackson, because he changed his name up here and there. That's, you know what? I can't really think of more names off the top of my head. Jeff Cobb, I just thought of that guy. JR Kratos. These are all Bay Area names, but everybody that I've just mentioned, those are pretty much the indie guys that I like. John Cena's best T-shirt. I'm gonna have to pass on this one because I actually filmed this video once before and it didn't come out right. And I had a hard time trying to figure out which Cena shirt I thought was his best because Cena's had many shirts throughout the years. I did like that 8-bit Nintendo style one he had. I like his US Champ is Here shirt. Yeah, I can't really, that's hard for me to decide. So that question I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass on, and if I ever do if I think of something before the end of this video, I will come back to it. If not, and I do think of something that afterwards, I'll maybe make a separate video for that. Okay, King of Kings in All Pro Wrestling. Someone who has used the term King in their name. Triple H. King of Kings is not just a moniker. I mean, look at everything he's achieved in the ring, and then look at what he's achieved outside the ring. As COO of the company, as, you know, everything he's done with NXT. I love Jerry the King Lawler, but Triple H is, in my opinion, the King of Kings of professional wrestling. Just like I said, look at what Triple H has achieved inside the ring, look at what he's achieved outside of it as COO, and what he's doing with NXT. So, there you go. L, last time you marked out watching wrestling? A lot of times during WrestleMania 31. Well, now that I think about it, the one moment where like I really marked out, other than Seth Rollins cashing in at WrestleMania 31 in the main event, was when Shawn Michaels came from the crowd and super kicked Sting in the Triple H Sting match. Someone called out Shawn Michaels. I looked, I saw him, boom, blast Sting, and I just went like, oh my God, Shawn Michaels. I just like marked out because like I didn't expect Shawn was gonna get involved in this match, so that was just awesome. Like I said, Shawn's one of my all-time favorites, so that was just like, and that was just an awesome moment. You know, Shawn Michaels super kicking Sting, like Shawn Michaels, Sting, and Triple H in the same ring. M, moment in wrestling you wish never happened: the death of Owen Hart, because it could have been prevented. Owen was a little uncomfortable with doing that spot from the rafters. They could have just come up with something different. I mean, I heard the only reason that Owen really did it was because he was afraid that if he didn't do it, maybe WWE would like demote him or something, bury him. So he did it like a team player, but that could have been prevented. I mean, they could have done something else that wasn't as dangerous or as risky, and he still could have been the Blue Blazer, and he still would have been alive today. You know, he could have been there to induct his father into the 2010 Hall of Fame. Owen's that tragedy is just, it's a shame. That's the moment I wish never happened, because it's such a shame what happened to Owen Hart. It's so sad, you know, that, you know, his wife, you know, he can't, you know, his wife doesn't have a husband, his children don't have a father anymore, so what else can I say? And next, NXT alumni to hold the WWE World Heavyweight title, it's going to most likely be Roman Reigns. I mean, that's what Roman was being built toward late last year and earlier this year. It's going to most likely be Roman. Now, I could also see Dean Ambrose winning it, or Kevin Owens. If Kevin Owens gets his freaking momentum back in that big heel push he had when he got to the main roster. So I pick Roman, but I think Ambrose may win it, if not Roman, or Kevin Owens for sure. So yeah, like I said, Roman, Ambrose, or Kevin Owens. Oh, one reason why you're a professional wrestling fan, I just love the entertainment value of it. All these different characters, all these great wrestlers, divas. Mainly the entertainment. You know, I watch Raw and SmackDown and Lucha Underground and ROH and all those other shows to be entertained and to enjoy good wrestling. So that's, you know, pretty much it. What else can I say without sounding like a broken record? I do have another viewer, so shout out to whoever's watching this. I had a viewer, they went away, but now I have a new viewer. So hey, oops, thumbs up to you, viewer, for watching and tuning in. P, plug 5 YWC channels under 500 subscribers you should check out. Definitely Britha, because he's just a real awesome guy. A nice, good friend of mine on Twitter. Always leaves positive comments on videos. Makes good videos. Second is Vince Martinez. This guy can plug out 3 to 4 videos a day, maybe more. He does great unboxing videos, and he's another good friend of mine. I just met him recently. We're subscribed to one another. Nice guy to talk to. Mildly Moderate Red. We just became good friends on Twitter and just subscribed to one another. He doesn't have many videos. Or no, I think he doesn't have many subscribers. But he's made quite a few videos recently, so definitely go check him out. I just checked out his Pro Wrestling Fan ABC tag video, which was a lot of fun. Cheesy 17. Let me hold on. I'm doing this live via Google Hangouts, so I'm just gonna check something real quick. Oh my God, what's the guy's name? Cheesy 17. All right, there you go. Cheesy 17 is his name. So Bretha, Vince, Mildly Moderate Red, Cheesy 17, and last but not least, Squirt Circle Sports, aka No Tweet Ryan. By the way, man, if you're watching this, kudos to getting to meet Kevin Owens the way you did. That video really impressed him, man. So that's real awesome. Big kudos to you. Q, question you get asked often from non-wrestling fans. Does so-and-so wrestle? Is Stone Cold Steve Austin still around? Is The Undertaker still around? Basically, is this guy still wrestling? What's this guy up to? What's this person up to? Remember this guy, that kind of question. Our Royal Rumble memorable moment. Definitely Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker finishing the 2007 Royal Rumble match. That was one of the best finishes, maybe the best finish ever to a Royal Rumble match, the 5-7 minutes they went at it. And then what was so significant about that was what it ultimately led to over the years. 2008, they started the match in Madison Square Garden with Michael Buffer as the guest ring announcer, They didn't have as much of an exchange, but still that was cool to see. And then 2009, they had that incredible WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 25. And then the year later, they had the WrestleMania 26 rematch, which was Streak versus Career, of course. So one moment in 2007 ultimately set the stage for 2008, which set the stage for 2009, which set the stage ultimately for 2010. So it's amazing what happened within those 4 years from that one event. That was still an incredible moment. Two of the greatest competitors of their generation, 2 all-time greats of their caliber, in a match of significance, Royal Rumble. I mean, I don't think you'll ever get another ending as epic as that. So, kudos to both men. S, SummerSlam memorable moment. British Bulldog winning the Intercontinental Championship in his hometown, in his home country of England, in 1992, because the Intercontinental Championship was always, well, the WWF Championship always made event of the show, but for an event of this caliber at Wembley Stadium, you had Bret Hart defending the championship against the British Bulldog. That elevated the Intercontinental Championship status. And that ultimately was the send-off for Bret to become the #1 man in the company when he would go on to win the WWF Championship. And that was British Bulldog's best, in my opinion. That had to have been, I'm just watching TV too, I'm sorry. That had to have been British Bulldog's defining moment as a professional wrestler, winning the title in England, in London, because he did it in front of his hometown fans. He did it with his wife Diana there, and he did it in an incredible match against Bret, one of the best technical wrestling matches of all time. So that itself was an emotional moment, and you know, just to be that atmosphere, that made it memorable. T, the best pipe bomb you have heard. Okay, obviously CM Punk's was awesome. That's what everybody's gonna say. But I'm gonna go with a different kind of pipe bomb, if you can even call it a pipe bomb. It was from 2001. It was from Paul Heyman, and it was on an episode of SmackDown, which was the go-home show to Survivor Series 2001. If you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. That was real awesome. That shows you why Paul Heyman's one of the best promo guys in the business. And yeah, you know, I can't really say much more about it without giving it away. It was just awesome. It kind of felt raw, but the way Paul Heyman said what he said was just awesome. Undertaker's loss to WrestleMania 30 was Undertaker's loss to WrestleMania 30. I'm sorry I keep turning my head because I'm just watching something real quick. But Undertaker's loss at WrestleMania 30 was quite historic for its own way. First off, the shock value of Taker actually losing at WrestleMania 30, no one expected that. Not even me. There were some fans that wanted Brock Lesnar to win, but they didn't really think it was going to happen. And then it actually happened. And the shock value will always be remembered. The looks of shock and you know, just the looks of people on the people's faces who were there live in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, I believe, not Silverdome. That just, my jaw dropped literally when it happened. And my jaw was dropped for like 3 minutes. I couldn't believe what I saw. I was so shocked and stunned that I didn't even care about the Divas match that happened. It was sort of like Superman being defeated when Superman seems unbeatable, you know, with the Undertaker being unbeatable seemingly at WrestleMania. So then what this also did for Brock Lesnar was it solidified him as a beast, because look at what Brock did afterwards. He squashed John Cena in the biggest glorified squash match in WWE history to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. He battled Cena and Rollins in a triple threat match where Rollins broke his rib with a flying elbow, and Brock came back to win the match and just kick the crap out of him. And then he went on to kick the crap out of Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania with the championship on the line, which, of course, we all know how that ended with Seth Rollins cashing in. But that win at WrestleMania solidified Brock as a beast, and look at how it ultimately elevated him from there. So Brock's win over Taker was quite historic for many reasons, because it ultimately solidified Brock as a beast. And, you know, that was just the shock value of The Undertaker losing to at WrestleMania. The streak ultimately being broken. The streak seemed sacred, but it ultimately was crushed by one guy. So, you know, it is what it is. The valet that best complimented a wrestler or tag team that accompanied the Miss Elizabeth. Miss Elizabeth, in my opinion, was the first defining valet. I mean, yeah, back in the day, you had managers like the Grand Wizard and Classy Freddie Blassie, and I cannot remember the other guy's name. But when you look at Miss Elizabeth and what she did, how she accompanied the Macho Man, she set the standard. She set the bar for female valets like Sensational Sherry. Well, I think Sensational Sherry was still a manager at that time. She had been a valet for a while, but Miss Elizabeth had something special to her. I mean, look at the chemistry she had with the Macho Man on screen. Like, I mean, the wedding, the match made in heaven at SummerSlam 91. I mean, that wedding and the emotion behind it, the emotion behind the WrestleMania 7 reunion months before. So, yeah, I'm not really going to go into too much detail about Miss Elizabeth, the Macho Man, but Miss Elizabeth, I felt, was like a torchbearer in a sense for valets. Although Sister Sherry had been doing, you know, Sensational Sherry had been doing her thing prior to Miss Elizabeth. WrestleMania memorable moment. Undertaker, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels embracing one another at the end of Hell in a Cell, WrestleMania 28, because you had three of the biggest names from the Attitude Era. Even though Shawn Michaels didn't wrestle for much of the Attitude Era, you still had three of the biggest names, three of the biggest icons of their era, embracing one another after one of the most grueling matches in WrestleMania history. You know, the storytelling at WrestleMania Hell in a Cell match was awesome. That was brilliant. Just to see them unite on that stage, embrace one another, was just an incredible moment. Because, like I said, they're three of the biggest icons in wrestling. They're three of the biggest names from the Attitude Era. And to see them end that match the way they did, embrace one another. And, yeah, I know Triple H and Undertaker went on to wrestle afterwards. But still, just that feeling, that moment was incredible. To see them all embrace one another, and it was indeed the end of an era, although, like I said, they went on to wrestle again. But that was just an incredible moment. I mean, there have been many other incredible WrestleMania moments, but my personal memorable moment had to be Taker, Shawn, and Triple H embracing one another. EX wrestler from the WWE, which was still wrestling. Okay, I interpret this two ways. Who's the next WWE superstar you still wish was in WWE? And for that, I have two answers. John Morrison and Shelton Benjamin, because I thought they were incredible athletes and incredible performers who never got the push they deserved. And then in terms of a wrestler that I wish was still wrestling but was like doesn't wrestle anymore, well, Jericho wrestles full time. Maybe X-Pac, because I was a big fan of X-Pac in the Attitude Era. I feel that X-Pac was just a real cool performer who I'm surprised never got pushed to like the Intercontinental Championship or even the WWF Championship. And I love when he would do the crotch chop, the jumping crotch chop for his entrance. I miss watching X-Pac. I know I could go back and watch him on the WWE Network, but I wish he was still wrestling. I think he does do independent shows though, but yeah, X-Pac I wish was still wrestling for whoever. And then John Morrison and Shelton Benjamin I wish were still wrestling in the WWE. Why? Why WC member you'd like to meet in real life? The Lex Man, and I might meet him if I go to WrestleMania 32. Miss WWE Fan 13, and the same thing with her. I might meet her if I go to WrestleMania 32. The Awesome Lorenzo Brothers, Break the Walls 10, Bretha, if he ever flies out here to the Bay Area, let alone the United States. Mildly Moderate Red, Gold Standard 000, Zach Brown 19, and Vince Martinez, because they both live here in the Bay Area. I want to have a proper meeting with Gemini AAA because I met him actually at WrestleCon, but I didn't recognize who he was, so I want to have like a proper meeting with him, if that makes sense. And that's about it, guys. I can really think of YWC members that I want to meet. We Are Pro Wrestling. Don't forget him. We Are Pro Wrestling. The guy makes awesome videos. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Sorry if I'm drawing a blank here, but I'm doing this live, as you can tell. And last but not least, Wrestler. The wrestler that puts you to sleep. The wrestler whose matches are boring. A lot of people say Big Show, but Big Show can have good matches. I'm going to go with Great Khali, though, because I don't ever remember Great Khali having a good match, a great match, even a good match. Yeah, I just never cared for Great Khali's matches. There you go. All right. So, Bretha, thank you again, man, for another creative fan interaction challenge. Was honored to take it. I don't know if we're supposed to nominate anybody for this challenge. This time, I'm only going to nominate one person, and that's my boy, Vince Martinez. Would love to hear what you have to say, Vince. But that's pretty much it, guys. I'm not going to nominate anybody else like I have in the past. So to the viewer watching me live right now, thank you for watching. I appreciate that. And to those of you who will be watching this on YouTube, thank you again for watching. And you know the drill. Comment, subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it. And, you know, since I had a live stream with Paul, I'm going to do him justice. I'm going to give him a shout out right here. So you guys and girls have a good day, night, or whatever time you're watching this video. Please do have a good day. And I will catch you all down the road. And if anybody's curious to know what I'm watching, why I keep turning my head, I'm watching Gina Rodriguez right now on TV. The girl from Jane the Virgin, because she's hot. But again, back to wrestling, guys. Thank you all for watching. And I'll catch you guys down the road. And I'll see you guys later.